And welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben, and this is my review for Netflix's original animated series Disenchantment Part 2, or Season 2, however you like to look at it. So, if you like Futurama and The Simpsons, then you'll probably like this. I was very surprised at how much kind of hate the first 10 episodes of Disenchantment got. But nevertheless, here we are, and we've got the next 10 episodes. The episode 10 of kind of part 1 left us on a big cliffhanger. We didn't know what had happened to Alpha. He looked like he had died. Lucy was trapped in a bottle, and Bean was kind of going on an adventure with her mother, and all these storylines were split. So it's basically the storyline of Bean the princess and Lucy the demon and Alpha the elf, and it's as the story develops, the arc develops, and you get to know the characters a bit more. One of the complaints that people had with the first part is that they didn't continue with the kind of the major arc of the story until like the last few episodes of the first 10 episodes, and that was really when they got going and the story got good. But I liked what they did with the first 10 episodes because they were really kind of developing the world, that was setting you in this mood. And I think they were still trying to find their feet at what this was, what this new kind of fantasy Simpsons-esque with kind of future humor. You can definitely tell there are influences from that, obviously from the creators. So they kind of had to show us and get the viewer used to this new kind of fantasy world. And so I think that's why they were kind of developing this world, showing you, what is the law, drunken fairies and prostitute fairies and talking pigs. They had to get the viewer used to seeing what this new fantasy world entailed, as well as trying to develop those characters that we come to love. And I think by the end of the kind of the first batch of the 10 episodes, I really liked the trio. I think they worked well together. And then the next 10 episodes, I was quite surprised which way it went. It actually took me by surprise because I thought at the beginning they're going for arc straight away, because the first few episodes really delves into the arc of the main storyline. It picks up where it left off in the 10th episode, which I'm glad they kind of fused together the trio once again without going into any spoilers. So you see the band together, kind of they're dealing with heaven and hell issues, and I thought, wow, they're just going to do arc the whole time, but they don't. They go into the kind of episodic episodes in the middle, whilst kind of sometimes dealing with arc storylines around. And I think that quite worked. It was a good flow, and then towards the end, you get to the major arc storylines again, and they leave us with a big cliffhanger again. And I have to say, I think for the most part it worked, and I really enjoyed the when they're getting into storylines and arc and developing those characters. I think these next 10 episodes really worked. Where I think it didn't quite work for me was sometimes the jokes or the humor didn't quite hit the mark. There were a lot of times when I was laughing and giggling along, and I was like, I can't believe they just said that, or that's hilarious, or something that your brain catches up. So you hear a whole bunch of dialogue and something's funny and you're laughing at that bit, and so your brain is trying to process what you're laughing at, but then they say something else and you kind of, it catches up with you, and I think that's really good. But there were a few of the jokes that just didn't hit the mark for me, and maybe that's just my humor, but occasionally I thought, oh, that didn't quite work. Mostly though, I love the series and the animation and the characters. I really feel like they've opened up the world. It doesn't feel like it's going to end anytime soon. I think there's going to be loads more seasons. I feel like there's already a great following for this series. I'm looking forward to see what else they do and how they develop those characters. I'm already loving some of the recurring characters and the new ones they've added this on these 10 episodes. I'm interested to see what they're going to do with the fantasy element, because it's so funny how they take the fantasy bits and they really kind of skewer them on their heads. I think that's a lot of fun to watch. If you like I said, The Simpsons and the Futurama, they're not the same. It is something different, but at the same time you will get elements of that. I'm really enjoying it so far. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this series, or which is your favorite. I still think Futurama is probably my favorite, although I really enjoy this series. I'm going to give this a B plus because I think it's great but not awesome. I think it's got a place to develop and get better as they still find their feet in future episodes. But yeah, Chat to me in the comments below about this. Sorry it's taken me a few days. I've had a really tough week, so it's taken me a while to get out new content. But here I am again. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about this, and most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.